Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are working toward becoming a licensed dentist in the United States, today's video is for you. I'll be sharing practical tips to help you stay motivated throughout this journey, which, as I know firsthand, is full of ups and downs. I moved to the United States in 2019 and have been on this path for several years. So today, I'll share both the lessons I learned and actionable advice to help you keep going. I'm going to share my story, including the setbacks, doubts, and the breaks I had to take along the way. My hope is that you can find encouragement here, knowing that if I could do it, you can too. To give you some background, I moved to the US in 2019, and let me tell you that I was not prepared for it at all. I had a thriving dental career in St. Petersburg, and relocating to the United States was a drastic life change. Suddenly, I was in a completely new culture, navigating a new language, a different healthcare system, with no family or friends nearby. I felt incredibly isolated at times. And of course, these were chaotic times. The pandemic hit, global disruptions made everything uncertain, and I was facing relationship and financial challenges. And I questioned whether I even wanted to go through the licensing process. It was expensive, my English wasn't there where it needed to be, and I had to relearn the basics I hadn't touched in years. At that point, I had to ask myself, is this worth it? So from 2019 to 2021, I decided to take some time to adjust to life in the United States. I focused on improving my language skills, getting my personal life in order, and building confidence in this new environment. I also started with some essentials like gathering documents, studying foundational concepts, and passing the TOEFL and INBDE exams. But this process took a toll on me. My financial instability and family questions pushed me to take a break from dentistry. I worked in other fields for a while, which helped me gain stability and refocus. And finally, in 2023, I felt ready to fully commit to the licensing process again with a clearer mind and more confidence. That break helped me tremendously. I returned to the process in 2023 with the confidence and clarity, understanding why I wanted to pursue dentistry in the US and how I was going to get there. Taking the time to explore other options helped me realize there was nothing I was more passionate about than dentistry. By the time I began applying to schools, I no longer felt the same doubt or uncertainty. This time I was focused, prepared, and ready to work through each step. When I returned, I set small goals such as completing applications, submitting documents, and celebrating each small win. If you are in this process or thinking about starting, remember that it's okay to take it slow. Set small, achievable goals each week, like working on a section of your application or focusing on one study area. Celebrating each little victory really kept me moving forward, even when the big picture felt overwhelming. One of the most valuable things I did was to find support along the way. This journey can be incredibly isolating if you try to do it alone. I connected with other international dentists online, joined study groups, and found people who understood exactly what I was going through. If you're preparing for exams like TOEFL or INBDE, finding a study buddy or joining a group can make all the difference. There are online forums and Facebook groups specifically for international dentists where you can share resources, get advice, and feel less alone. Knowing there were others on this same journey helped me stay motivated and feel like I wasn't facing it alone. Something that really helped me stay committed was keeping my why front and centered. I needed to understand my reasons for wanting to become licensed in the US. For me, it was about fully expressing myself in this new country, building a solid foundation for my future, and growing as a professional in the field I love. Taking a break allowed me to explore other areas and realize that for me, there was nothing better than dentistry. If you are on this path, I recommend writing down your reasons for pursuing licensure and keeping them somewhere visible. Every time things got tough, I'd look at my list and remind myself of the purpose behind this journey. This motivation gave me the mental resilience to keep going. Taking care of your mental health is also critical. I learned to set boundaries, create a balance, and allow myself breaks when I needed them. This isn't a race. Burnout can set you back, so pacing yourself is a key. So before we dive into motivation, let's take a step back and talk about whether this journey is the right one for you. Becoming a licensed dentist in the US is a long, demanding process that requires substantial energy, mental resilience, financial investment, and time. I want to help you decide if you are fully prepared for what lies ahead or if you need more time to plan. So here is a practical exercise. Grab a piece of paper or a board and make 2 lists. One for the pros and cons of pursuing US licensure and another one for resources you have versus what you still need. Visualizing it all can give you a clearer picture of whether you're ready for this path. So now let's talk about the financial investments. Because this process isn't cheap. The costs can vary, but to give you a rough estimate, let's discuss this. So the exam fees, just the exams alone, like TOEFL and INBDE, can cost several hundreds to over thousands of dollars each, depending on whether you need to retake them or not. For instance, the INBDE currently costs around $900 and the TOEFL is roughly around $200 or maybe even more if they change something. So credential evaluation. To have your credentials evaluated, agencies like ECE or WES charge between $200 and $500. Each application through ADA CAAPID, which is the Central Application Service for International Dental Programs, costs around $250 per program. If you're applying to multiple schools, this adds up quickly. And other supplementary costs. Many programs have additional fees, and even if you're accepted, you'll likely need financial support for tuition, travel, and living expenses. Tuition alone can range from $50,000 to over $100,000 per year, depending on the school. So take the time to assess if you have the financial resources to cover these costs or if you need to budget and save before diving in. Next, let's talk about time. The timeline for getting licensed isn't quick. It's more like a marathon than a sprint. Just the application process to schools, from submitting CAAPID to getting an acceptance letter, can take nearly a year. And that's assuming you're accepted on the first try. For example, let's take as an example preparation time for the exams. Depending on your level of preparation, you might spend anywhere from 3 to 6 months studying for INBDE and possibly a similar amount for TOEFL if English isn't your first language. Then the application cycle. Many advanced standing programs open applications in March through CAAPID, and interviews happen throughout the year. So it may happen in summer or fall. So even if you apply this year, you might not hear back or begin school until the next academic year. You'll need a lot of patience and mental endurance to get through these long stretches. Ask yourself if you are prepared to commit several months or even years to this path. Now, here is another practical exercise that helped me a lot when I was deciding if I was ready to pursue this journey. I encourage you to try it out. Write down the pros and cons. List all the reasons you want to pursue this path, opportunities, career goals, and other things. And then the possible drawbacks, costs, time away from family, or uncertainty. This will help you see your motivations more clearly. Then list your resources and challenges. Write down everything you have that can support you in this process, whether it's savings, support from family, or prior experience. Then list what you still need, such as improving your English, gathering documents, or saving more money. This will give you a realistic view of where you stand right now. Then, from your list, note areas where you need improvement or additional resources. For example, if your English is a barrier, you might plan extra time for language study. Or if finances are a concern, start budgeting or look into potential financial aid options. Create a basic timeline. Map out how long you think each of these areas might take, whether it's 3 months for TOEFL prep, 6 months for saving, or the application cycle itself. Seeing a rough timeline can help you make the path feel more manageable. This exercise is about understanding the real picture. It's not to discourage you, but to help you make an informed decision. So let's wrap this up. Here's my advice for staying motivated and seeing this journey through making an informed choice. Assess your readiness. Take time to evaluate your finances, timeline, mental strengths, and resources. Write it down. Use the exercises to visualize the pros, cons, resources, and gaps. Plan what you need to improve and how to approach each area. Take it one step at a time. Set small goals and celebrate each one. This journey is tough, but every step forward counts. Build a support system. Find people who understand what you are going through. Study groups, online communities, and study buddies can make a huge difference. Stay connected to your why. Write down your reasons for pursuing this path and keep them somewhere visible. It makes all the difference when the things get challenging. And lastly, take care of yourself. Set boundaries, take breaks, and keep your mental health in check. This is a long process, so pace yourself. And last words. For me, this journey took nearly 4 years. Not because I failed to get into schools or couldn't pass exams, but because I didn't have my why clear, and I lacked the confidence that this was truly the right path for me. I was accepted into a program this year in 2024, and I know all the sacrifices and efforts along the way were worth it. I'm so glad I took the time to think it through and build the confidence I needed. That clarity helped me tackle each part of the process. I applied to schools, passed exams, and met every requirement on my first attempt. So here is my main takeaway. If you are feeling doubts, give yourself the time to analyze your life and live through those uncertainties. Gain the confidence you need, because without it, this journey can feel impossible. You might give up at any step if you are not truly committed. And remember, this is your life and your future. Make sure you're following this path for yourself, not because someone else expects it for you. If this is truly your passion, if you want it with all your heart, then you'll get through every challenge and you'll do it with a sense of purpose. You've got this.